Hello and welcome to episode 8 of Drinking with Disney. I'm Lucas, and with me, as always, is my co-host Molly. How are you doing tonight?
Good.
And we got Penny, our little hype girl, here with us.
Sleepy.
She's a little sleepy tonight. And tonight we watched Beauty and the Beast, the original, the 1991 animated version.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a really good movie. I'm sure you guys all know it's a classic.
It's long, though.
Yeah, one of the longer animated Disney movies that especially that we've seen so far. Most of them run about, an hour and 10 minutes. This one's about an hour and 40 minutes almost. Yeah, she's feeling a little sleepy because of it.
Long week.
Yeah, and as always, we drank along to it, and I was drinking the Lost Craft Sirius Premium Pale Ale, and Molly was drinking the vodka soda, going with the watermelon and the peach like she always does.
Let's be real. I drink both.
Yeah, and we always play a drinking game along with this movie, and Molly will run down the rules for that.
Okay. Drinking game rules. Whenever they say West Wing, whenever they mention that the Beast is going to lose his temper or has lost his temper, whenever Belle says Papa.
Right, which is way more than I remember it being. Like,
yeah.
it's like every second word out of her mouth at some point.
And like most weeks, anytime there's a new song.
Yep.
Anytime you see the wolves. Anytime they say that Belle is weird or strange or odd or funny, whatever, like referring to her being weird. Mm-hmm. And every time we see the rose.
Yeah.
So there's lots of rules.
Yeah, quite a few rules. But fun drinking game to play.
It is fun. I like this movie.
Yeah, because every one of those rules does come up enough.
If you're trying to get drunk.
If you're trying to get drunk, yeah.
Which, let's be real.
And,
grow up.
And this Disney movie starts with the same way quite a few of them do, which is that kind of fake fairy tale.
Like the stained glass.
Yeah.
Fairy tale
Yeah, the
book.
sort of backstory kind of thing leading up to present day.
And they talk about like the Beast being like this good-looking guy.
A prince, I think, right?
Or sorry, the prince being this good-looking guy, and someone coming to his door. And my first question, one, how did this old lady get past like palace security?
Seems like there is no palace security.
But like, in what world is there no palace security?
I don't know.
So one, how did she get to the door? Two, think about all the scams people pull when they come to your door and say they're broken down or whatever. Like, sure, the prince was being a douche and she was there to teach him a lesson. But let me tell you, I would turn her away too. She's this fucking creepy old woman knocking on your door.
In the
when
middle
there's
of the
a
night.
whole village of other houses there.
Yeah,
Because in the stained glass fairy tale book, there is houses around the castle.
Right.
They're not there when we go back, but the village is like right there.
Is there no hotel in this village? Like, yeah, I'd be turning her away. If someone knocked on our door right now, I'd tell them to go to hell.
I wouldn't answer.
Yeah. So then it goes that she tries to offer a rose for one night stay in the castle. He denies her.
Do you think by rose he thought maybe she meant a sexual innuendo?
I don't know. Maybe that's why he turned her away.
I'm not trying to sex you up.
No, yeah, I guess not. And he turns her away, and then she reveals herself as this wizard lady who casts this like curse on him and turns him into the Beast and gets him to his 21st birthday to find true love.
Which later in the movie we find out Lumiere says they've been like this for 10 years.
Yeah, and Be Our Guest, one of the lyrics to the song is Lumiere says, "We've been like this 10 years rusting away." So
when he was 11.
So Buddy was 11. Yeah, he was just a spoiled little brat, and this lady really wanted to teach him a lesson.
This is the thing about Disney movies. Make them a little bit older.
Yeah.
Make it a little more believable.
Right?
Like, I get it's a Disney movie, but make it a little more believable.
Yeah.
Than an 11-year-old really needing that much of a life lesson. Like, what did he do? Murder someone and get away with it? Like, he's 11. 11-year-olds are douchebags.
Oh, yeah.
That's that, like, awkward stage. But anyway.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That part's ridiculous.
Yeah, so then...
but I mean, it makes the whole movie.
So after our kind of that sort of backstory, setup scene, that is, all the stained glass and shot in like the fairy tale kind of classic fairy tale setting, we see Belle for the first time walking out of her house into town, speaking English, but it's
They're
supposed
in
to be
France.
France. But she also says like
She says bonjour.
bonjour, like it's
Madame.
like yeah. It's like any like proper noun is French, but then all the other words are English.
And all her conversations are in English.
Yeah.
And yeah, because she's singing to herself at first. All the conversations are in English. Nobody even has a French accent until we meet Lumiere.
Yeah, he's the only one.
Yeah, so where the fuck in France are you? Are you in Quebec?
Yeah. And the whole first song that we see too is just people singing about how weird she is because she likes books. Yeah.
She's so beautiful, but she likes all these books.
Yeah.
These people need to be more woke.
Yeah, but maybe they have a point because she does also spend maybe like 25% of that song singing to the sheep.
Yeah, she does.
And like reading to sheep, like kind of strange.
That's weird. I would probably think that person was like on on
some drugs.
Crack.
Right.
Like, that's weird. But maybe she's also singing and talking to the sheep because everybody else is talking about how fucking weird she is.
Yeah, maybe she doesn't want to talk to any of those
I
people.
think I'd want to talk to all these people who are talking shit about me.
They're just chirping behind her back all day, right?
They're chirping her so hard.
Yeah. And that's another thing that's kind of strange is I guess she's supposed to be like super beautiful or whatever. But, like, if she's so weird, why does Gaston even want to marry her?
Because apparently she's the most beautiful.
Yeah, and he's, like, super, super, like, dead set on marrying her. Like,
that's his life goal.
He's full-on stalker. Like, in this day and age, she'd get a restraining order against that fucking guy.
Yeah, Gaston is very insistent about marrying Belle, and she very obviously wants nothing to do with him.
Yeah, no, clearly, like she can't say it enough.
She pushes him out into the mud. She's like, Gaston, there's lots of other girls. Like, she does not have any interest.
And there's literally like a flock of these three blonde
blonde
girls,
booby
like,
triplets,
just like following him around, like gushing at his every move. Like, would definitely like throw it to him if he was willing, right?
And honestly, they are drawn pretty as well. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's some girls in the village that aren't as pretty as Belle, but these girls are pretty.
Yeah, I'm sure, like...
What's wrong with them? They actually want you.
Right?
Like, maybe, like, and I think Gaston definitely does CrossFit.
Oh, yeah. Does CrossFit and posts
Maybe he's vegan.
Posts on his Insta story every day about his CrossFit routine.
And his food.
Yeah.
Oh, this is what I eat. This is how many macros I eat.
Yeah.
Every day.
And every Sunday he does like a 4-part Insta story about his meal prep.
Yes. And you know what? Like, I commend people for doing that. And, like, I get people have, like, these fitness journeys on Instagram or whatever, but he's, like, douchey about it.
Yeah, totally douchey about it. Yeah. So then she goes home and asks her dad, who's allegedly crazy as well, if he thinks she's crazy. It's like, you don't go to a crazy person to see if you're crazy.
Well, obviously he's not that crazy because they're all talking about, that crazy, like, scientist, Maurice.
Yeah.
But the only thing we've seen him, they don't really refer anything to what he's done that's crazy in the past. And we only see him invent something that actually works.
Yeah, that works really well.
It chops wood so you don't have to.
Chops wood and then ends up saving their life in the end of the movie.
I feel like the ShamWow guy could really advertise that
well. Yeah, that ShamWow guy could have fucking sold 1,000 of those before he ended up in jail.
Is he in jail?
Yeah, he's a creep.
Not the ShamWow guy.
Not the ShamWow guy.
Anybody but the ShamWow guy.
The ShamWow guy is the same as the Slap Chop guy, right?
Yeah. My mom loves the Slap Chop commercial because he's always like, you're going to love my nuts.
Yeah. The Slap Chop commercial is better than ShamWow, but ShamWow is what he got. Yeah, I think so, yeah. But
And what's like
he
creepy?
yeah, like
Towards women.
yeah, I'll tell you later.
Okay.
Goes to the fair and gets lost.
But yeah, so
Oh yeah.
she goes and says, "Papa, do you think I'm odd?" Which, side note, my sister used to ask my dad when she was little, "Papa, do you think I'm odd?" Which I think is like the cutest thing ever. Even though my sister's crazy now. She was cute. But then we see him going off to the fair for this invention, and that's when he gets lost in the woods, and the horse tries to tell him not to go there, and he's saying he's taking a shortcut, but he gets lost, and the beast, he goes into the castle because that's the closest place.
Yeah, and he doesn't knock on the door or anything, just walks
in. He knocks.
Does he knock?
And he pokes his head in, and he's like, "Hey, I need help." Like, he's trying to be polite about it, but he thinks that no one's there.
Right.
I think that's the thing. He lets himself in because he's like, "Oh shit, there's this castle to stay in." Which, by the way, how does nobody else know about this castle? Why is it abandoned and no one's come across the castle or the beast? Because, like, I think it would have maybe been better to, like, say everyone's scared of the beast, like the whole movie.
Right.
I get. But then, in that sense, you don't really need Gaston, which is fine, because he's just this douche. But yeah, like, I think it would have been maybe good to be like, oh, there's a beast everyone's scared of, and he comes across this castle, and he doesn't realize the beast is there.
Right.
So then the beast, Lumiere invites him in, and they put him near the fire, and all of this stuff, and the beast gets pissed off.
Yeah, beast comes down, and then ends up taking him as a prisoner.
He's like, "Oh, you think you're welcome here? Let me show you.
Let me show you where you're welcome," or whatever. And then
and I get he's like crazy about like being cooped up for so long and all of this stuff. But you think in his situation, he would maybe try to be a little bit nicer to people when they came along,
right? Considering how he got into his position to begin with,
if he's this close to his 21st birthday, it's like on the verge of 10 years of him being this way,
right? Yeah.
So. Why are you being a dick to what seems to be one of the first people to come along?
Yeah.
Because, like I said, how has nobody else noticed this castle? And when somebody does, try and make them your friend. Try them to invite their friends over to have a party. You're trying to find a girl.
Like, I know. Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
He doesn't do himself any favors.
He could just be like, "I know I'm scary, but be my friend."
Right? Yeah.
It would be easy. Come on.
For sure.
Beast. Beast, by the way. Do you have a real name?
Yeah, they never refer to him by anything other than the prince or beast.
You think that maybe, like, when he starts to warm up to Belle a little bit, he's like, "You know what? Everybody else calls me Beast, but you can call me Stuart."
Right. Yeah. Stuart.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That was the first thing that came to my mind. But also, calling him Beast is mean. No wonder he's miserable. Oh, Beast.
Beast.
No, still call him Prince, you dicks. I mean,
right?
I guess the people that work there call him Master.
Yeah, I guess they do, yeah.
But, like, talking about him, they call him Beast.
Yeah, when he's
and
not
he
around.
Obviously hears that he has that magical mirror.
Yeah, he can, like, spy on him.
And it's not like they don't know he has a mirror. They know about the West Wing.
Yeah.
Drink when they say West Wing.
Right.
I forgot to say that at the beginning.
Oh, yeah, that's one of the rules.
Drink when they say West Wing.
Yeah. You might have said that.
I don't remember.
So then, after we see the beast kidnap the father, we go back to the village and see Gaston trying to do a pop-up wedding.
A gorilla wedding.
A gorilla wedding.
My wedding planner told me that's what it's called.
Do a little gorilla wedding with Belle. And
he goes, "Oh, thanks everyone for coming to my wedding. Now I just have to go propose."
And then they all laugh, yeah.
Okay, after all this douchey stuff he's doing, how are all of these people still, like, intrigued by him? Is it just because he's super handsome?
I don't know.
Because they go to this song about no one fights like Gaston, no one spits like Gaston, Gaston is hairy as fuck, and all of this bad stuff.
Right.
So why? Like, if you fought anyone, I wouldn't want to have sex with you for weeks. Like, no thank you. Fighting is disgusting. And spitting and all of this gross stuff. So why is everyone like, ha, he's just like tricking her into a marriage?
I don't know.
In what world?
He really comes on like not even strong, like full on rapey.
He's
like,
rapey. Yeah, because
yeah.
he comes into the house and he's cornering her.
Yeah.
He's rapey.
Yeah, no, he's just the worst.
He's definitely the worst.
Yeah.
What did you say? He's definitely a Republican.
Oh yeah, he's a Republican.
If we were in America, he would be a Republican. He would be on that fucking list of all that viral shit that went around yesterday of those disgusting human beings in Alabama. Anyway, that's Gaston.
So then she kicks Gaston out of the house. The whole crew fucks off, and then the horse comes back. And
do horses know how to come back, though?
I'm not sure. I have no idea.
Because, like, dogs barely know how to come back.
Right? But anyway, the horse comes back, and she's like, oh, shit. Where's my dad? Like, take me to where he was. And then the horse rushes, and she hops on the horse, and they run back to the castle, where she also... What are you doing? Oh. Where she also goes in without even
because she finds her dad's hat.
Right, yeah. She finds the hat and then just goes in, finds him in a jail cell there, and then the beast, like, pounces on her. And like,
she's not even fazed.
No, she's not really fazed at all at first. And he, or as soon as she, like, puts the idea out there to, like, do the switch, me for him, he's like, oh, yeah, that sounds great. Like, he's kind of rapey, too, at first,
But,
right?
like, first off, the dad went into the house asking for permission. People welcome him. Well, all the house items, appliances, welcomed him inside, and he was, like, kind of hesitant to go in. Belle just fucking walks in there.
Yeah.
So why is the dad your prisoner and not Belle?
Right, why would he not take two prisoners?
Why can't you say, you're my prisoner also? I guess, maybe now that I'm saying that out loud, it's probably because he's trying to court Belle. And he doesn't want the dad around.
Yeah.
Gross.
No, but she should be, like, terrified when she's there, and she plays it super fucking cool.
She just wants her dad out of there.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
But then even before she does the swap, Lumiere is like, oh, there's a girl here. Like, oh, maybe this is the one. Like, he's playing wingman before he even sees the beast again. Like, he's really trying to wingman for him.
Well, because he wants to be
He wants to be a human again.
As much as the household items want Beast to be happy, they also want to be human again. So it's a little bit of a selfish...
it's a self-serving kind of mission.
But at the same time, they're trying to help their buddy out.
Yeah. Yeah, and then this is where we first see the signs of Stockholm Syndrome setting in.
She definitely has Stockholm Syndrome because she is there just like... She starts agreeing with what he said. Like, he's a kidnapper. And she's just like, yeah, like... It's just fucked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then he says, you're coming to dinner.
Right, yeah. Yeah, he just, like, is like, you're coming to dinner. That's not a request. And then she defies his non-request and doesn't show up.
And his reaction, honestly, is dramatic for what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
But his reaction is also the reaction, I feel like, if we're being honest, ladies, if anyone's ever been ghosted or stood up, that's how you want to react, but you don't. He's like, ah! And goes and finds her, and he's like, why are you coming to dinner?
Right? Yeah. Yeah. And
if you don't text me back, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, he's, like, surprised, and he's also,
and we're
like,
getting married.
He's also, like, surprised that she doesn't show up and doesn't want to hang out. It's like, well, your dad was just her prisoner. Now she's your prisoner. Like, you really think she wants to hang out with you? Like, he's just fucking stupid,
She doesn't even have Stockholm yet.
Not yet, but we see it setting in a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and like we said, Lumiere is the only one with the French accent. We see that after, or Molly
Be
Molly first realized it.
our guest.
Yeah.
Be our guest.
When that song
Put
first
our
starts.
service to the test.
Which is like the catchiest song of the movie, I think.
You know what? Some of these songs are pretty catchy, though.
Yeah.
Like the song about Gaston.
Yeah.
Lena spits like Gaston, is a dick like Gaston, douche like Gaston.
Yeah. Also a catchy song.
And even the song when they're like outside playing in the snow and they're like,
Oh, yeah. What's that song called?
I think there's something there
yeah.
I didn't see before.
Didn't see before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Side note, they're outside playing in the snow. In the village, there is grass. It is sunny. They're not wearing jackets. At the end of the movie, it is raining. What season is it?
Or is this supposed to be like a year, like shrunk down into like an hour and a half? But like
No, definitely not, because Belle comes back overnight and then they come back and
Right.
the food, like, and then when they come back though, there's snow in the village. So maybe it's fall, winter
yeah. I don't
in
know.
Canada.
It's crazy weather.
It's Canada.
Yeah, that's where
They're
it
not
is.
in France. Maybe they're in Montreal.
And then Be Our Guest, obviously great tune.
And then she's like, okay,
And then
I'm going to go wander the castle.
kind of wanders the castle a bit.
And
this
she
is when she
goes-
wanders into the West Wing, where Molly kind of speculated that the West Wing is probably like where his like room was and where he used to kind of live his best life, right?
Well, because they pan over and it shows like the portrait of him that he scratches up when he becomes the beast.
Right.
And there's like an old bed in there and all of this stuff. So this is like his old life in the West Wing.
Right, yeah.
This is where he like used to be happy and he doesn't like going there anymore.
And that's why it's all destroyed, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And another thing is, where are the parents
I'm living
at?
my best life.
Where are the parents at?
Again, where are the parents at in
Yeah.
this movie? A lot of Disney movies, we see one or the other. We don't see, and this one we don't see either. Like in Little Mermaid, we don't see either. We
Right.
just see Prince Eric and his like guy that works for him.
Right. Yeah.
I'm petting the dog, not Lucas's like.
And then after she busts into the West Wing and gets busted by him, she like sprints out and says to Lumiere that
Promise or not? Oh, I
promise-
just poured this all over my leg.
the promise or not, I need to go. Like, I'm leaving. And then
so
she
why
leaves.
wouldn't she have just left from the beginning
So if
when
that's
he
an
let her out
option-
of the cell? He let her out of the cell to stay in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Did he lock her in the room?
I'm not sure if he did.
can't remember.
I can't remember either.
So why didn't you leave when it was an option the whole time, you dumb idiot?
And I don't think he did lock her in the room because he does say to her, like, feel free to explore the castle anywhere but the West Wing. Right? So she must not be locked in the room. So she could just fuck off whenever she wanted. And she's got a horse there.
West Wing! Yeah, because they send the dad home in the walking, carriage thing with no horse because everything is alive.
Yeah. And then so she tries to leave, gets on the horse, and then gets tracked down by the wolves. And they corner her, she gets knocked off the horse.
When I was little, we went to go see Beauty and the Beast at Princess of Wales Theatre in Toronto. And it was really, really good. And they did a really good job of making fucking scary wolves. I was hiding behind the seats in the theater. My parents had to like pry me out of there. I don't really remember it. I remember being scared shitless of the wolves. The wolves are scary in the movie too.
Yeah, they are.
If you're a little kid watching,
Yeah, for
they're
sure.
scary.
And then the beast comes and saves her from the wolves and getting injured himself.
And this is where we kind of see the Stockholm setting in.
Right.
Because she does, but at first she does think about leaving. Like she goes to get on Philippe.
Right. And then she sees
And then
how
she looks
injured
back
he
and
is.
she's
Yeah.
like, shit, he just saved my life. So Belle's just like a really good person.
Right.
Because if it was someone that kidnapped my dad and then made me stay and was a douche to me and threw me around and broke things around me, I'd fucking leave and be like, fucking
Oh,
die!
for
Die
sure.
in the cold.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
You fuck with my dad? No thanks.
So then she goes back to the castle and starts to mend him up a bit. And then we cut over to back to the village and we see Gaston meeting with the director of the
Crypt Keeper.
the loony bin who looks like the crypt keeper.
Like
yeah.
the guy from Freaky Stories. So what it is at the beginning,
No, it
remember?
Was it Freaky Stories or... Yeah, I forget what it was.
But we all know what we're talking about. Crypt Keeper, that little weird skeleton guy.
Yeah, the Crypt Keeper, like Freaky Stories, wasn't the Freaky Stories the ones that like happened to a friend of mine?
Yeah, but that guy was at the beginning of them.
I don't think he was. But I think the Crypt Keeper was a different thing. But anyways, when we go back to the castle there, this is when we finally see the library that they were talking about. And when fucking Belle turns into a huge book slut.
She decides she's going to drop her panties for books.
Yeah.
The Crypt Keeper is just Tales from a Crypt Keeper.
Yeah.
Sorry. Quick Google. No, Freaky Stories.
Oh, right.
We're just doing a quick Google fact check about Crypt Keeper and Freaky Stories.
Yeah, it was the little worm that was like...
Okay, so I was thinking of sort of a similar thing.
Yeah.
The worm, the Crypt Keeper, like freaky things. Anyway,
yeah, but then we
Belle
see
drops her panties for the library.
Yeah, and then shortly after that, we see their like date night go down.
No, but that's when they go outside in the snow.
Right.
I think there's something there that wasn't there before.
Right.
It's Mrs. Potts singing.
Yeah, and then we go into the date night, right?
Which, in this version that we watched tonight, they go to like this little army meeting with Clocksworth leading the troops, and then they go into the song Human Again, which was deleted from the original release of the movie. We looked it up because I'm watching. I'm like, I do not remember this movie at all. Yeah. It's about all of like Mrs. Potts, everyone, all these broomsticks and everything.
Yeah.
Singing about being human again. Not the original movie. It's really long.
Yeah.
It was deleted and then what's it called?
Like reinstated, like put back into the movie in 2002. Restored, yeah.
Restored in 2002.
11 years after it came out.
Because it was too long and because it showed too many...
And they said, what I was reading, it said it showed too many... Like too many animated things moving around. Like there would never be a castle with that many.
But my thing was, if there's no parents, there's just the prince there. So maybe they do have that many staff.
Yeah, who knows? Also, it doesn't really serve any purpose to the main arc of the movie. Like that's the only time that there's any reference to them really wanting to be human again for like their own purpose, right?
Yeah, because I could have completely done without that song. It was not good.
Yeah, it almost adds like a third, because the main story arc is Belle and the Beast, obviously. The second story arc is Gaston and his bullshit. And like in a kids movie, you don't really need like a third story arc to be in there, right?
You only need one in a
You only need
movie.
one, exactly. So, big castle. And their date is pretty good date.
Their date is the ball. But that's the thing. That's what they're doing during that song, though, is getting them ready for a date.
Preparing the castle for the date.
Because that's one thing I didn't realize is that they really set that up. Like, they cleaned up the ballroom. They show, like, all of these mops during that song, cleaning the ballroom, and getting it ready for Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, so they have their date, and everything goes really, really well.
And you know what? In a previous one, I said that Cindy had a really pretty dress. Cinderella is who I mean when I say my girl Cindy. She has a better dress than Cinderella. She also has like a 2016 top knot situation going on her head. So she's ahead of the game.
Yeah, by a few hundred years.
At least.
I
mean, when is this movie based?
It's really sure.
Released in 1991, so top knots were a thing in 2016, 2017? So like 26, 27 years. She's ahead of the fucking game, and she looks great.
So then, so after, or towards the end of the date, she's saying how, like, she misses her dad, and she wishes she could see him again.
One last time.
And Beast says, I've got something to show you, and goes and shows her the mirror. And then by this time, we've already seen...
being so sweet.
We've already seen the flash back to the town of her dad leaving his house, being like, I'm going to go find her. I'm going to go back to the castle and rescue her. So then when they see her in the mirror, he's fallen in the snow because it's like a blizzard out, and
She's like, he's sick.
He's sick, maybe
he's
dying.
Not sick.
He's like got hypothermia.
Okay, well, he's lost would have been better.
Yeah,
though.
for sure. Yeah.
But
So why not, when she finds him, take him back to the castle? Like,
yeah, because she
closer.
leaves. Okay, Beast does the sweetest thing ever because he realizes he's in love with her and he just wants her to be happy. So he says, you know what? You need to go find your dad. You're released.
Yeah.
And it's so cute. And he says, take the mirror with you so you can look back at me whenever you want.
Right.
Oh, I just got chills saying it. Oh, it's so sweet. It's so nice.
Almost ends up being his undoing, giving her the mirror. Because she could have just come back whenever. Like, she knows where it is.
Yeah, but she needed to go back that night.
Oh, right, because he wouldn't. But she didn't know that. Mm-hmm. Right. But even if she had the mirror and she was like, show me the beast, he would have been dead. That would have been fucking shitty.
I don't think he's supposed to die. I think he's just supposed to stay the beast forever.
A beast. Okay, right. Yeah. So then she goes back to get her pops, rescues him, takes him home. And
where
then
LeFou is waiting.
Yeah.
So he goes and lets Gaston know that they're back.
Yep.
He shows up with his plan with the Crypt Keeper.
Yeah, to take her dad to the insane asylum.
That the deal is marry me or else your dad goes to the insane asylum.
Right. Which
is called what? The Asylum de Loons?
Asylum de Loons is written on the side of the truck, yeah.
I wonder if that's the real French for
the carriage.
it. We're both burping.
I really doubt it is. And she's already, like, essentially lied to the beast to save her dad's life. Why not lie to fucking Gaston to save her dad again?
And just say, you know what, we'll get married tomorrow.
Right.
Is he like, marry me on the spot?
No, it doesn't seem like
it.
So
say, let's get married tomorrow, leave my dad alone.
Yeah, and then
give them a chance to go back to the castle. Like, Belle, figure it the fuck out.
Right?
Are you, obviously, like, she's smart, but she's stupid.
Yeah, and then she uses the mirror to show them that there is a beast.
Because they're saying that he's mad.
And they're saying that she's crazy, too. Like, let's lock her up as well, or whatever. And then she shows him the beast, and then Gaston's like, all right, let's fucking go kill the beast, and then marches the whole town.
Kill that beast.
Yeah, marches the whole town towards the castle, and then they bust into the castle, and then the appliances and fucking candlestick and clock, and they just fucking go hardcore on them. They really lay shit down.
And wouldn't you be a little bit phased if all of these appliances were attacking you,
Right.
And just kind of be like, fuck this place.
Yeah, there's something weird going on here. Yeah.
There's some voodoo mama juju happening.
Right, yeah. For sure.
But they say in fight, there's a guy that's plucking all of the feathers out of Bimbette, which really seems rapey to me.
Yeah, because it's already been implied that, like, because she's a feather duster, right? And it's already been implied by the way that Lumiere is, like, handling her, that, like, her feather duster bit is her skirt, right? And he's like holding her upside down, like plucking her. There's a
little bit of a problem with this movie in the sense that they're calling a girl weird for being smart.
Yeah.
They're cornering her and saying she has to marry this guy, and now they're doing this to the fucking feather duster. Like, there's a few problems with it, which is the whole thing. Like, the village is supposed to be corrupt, and and they're all obsessed with Gaston. But it's when you watch it as an adult, it made me feel a little uncomfortable, to be honest.
Yeah.
It was awful.
Yeah. And then we see the big Beast versus Gaston throwdown on the rooftop in the rain.
Gaston finally finds the Beast in... Sorry, I was just talking over you.
That's fine.
Finally finds the Beast in the West Wing. And when he opens the door, the Beast is literally sitting there crying.
Yeah.
Sees him holding an arrow up, like, ready to shoot him, and doesn't do anything. So this guy is obviously depressed.
Yeah. And, like, Gaston literally just wants to kill the Beast because the Beast likes Belle. Like,
and because he knows that Belle likes the Beast. Because at the village he says, do you have feelings for the Beast?
Right.
And that's when we forgot. They lock them both in the little cellar where all the inventions are at the dad's house. Mm-hmm. But little do they know, Chip
Chip, yeah, Chip plays a big role here.
Chip came back to the house, snuck into Belle's bag, and then Chip uses the invention, the axe throwing invention from the beginning, to free them and send them back to the castle.
Yeah.
So then that's how Belle gets back there, whatever. We see Gaston and the Beast fighting, and then Gaston gets really scared of the Beast at one point. He's like, I'll do whatever you want, like acts like a little bitch.
Right, because the Beast is like, has him by the neck ready to drop him like into
and he
the abyss.
just tells him he could kill him, but he tells him just to leave because and then he sees Belle and he's like, oh my God, you came back, and they're having a moment, and Gaston stabs him,
like a full-on,
and you see the knife go in,
like full-on stab to the back. Like, it's pretty ruthless.
I was shocked. I forgot about, I didn't remember this movie very much. Even though I saw the live action one not that long ago, I forgot that he stabs him.
Yeah, it's a full-on stabbing.
And you see him stick it in and pull it out.
Yeah.
But then very quickly, Karma's a bitch and Gaston falls to his death.
Just falls right to his death, yeah. Like, stabs him, falls right to his death. And then the Beast is like taking his last breath, saying, like, I'm so glad I got to see you again.
Oh, the sweetest thing ever. His last words are, at least sad. I got to see you again.
Super sad. And then she says, I love you, and her tears hit him, and he fucking comes back to life.
So this is the thing. The magic obviously heals the stab wound.
Yeah, it heals the stab wound.
Because he wakes up and he's fine.
Back. Yeah, brings him back to life as a human as well.
And he's like this hunk.
And at this point, Belle is thinking, thank fucking God.
Thank God you came back as this hot-ass guy with all these muscles and this long hair, because fuck if I was going to have sex with this hairy beast.
Yeah.
It's like the whole Family Guy thing.
Right, yeah.
How do all the... And Stewie makes a comment about, did your parents pay for you to go to college so you could fuck dogs? The Beast is some sort of animal. So, I mean, I know the whole thing is about inner beauty.
Right.
But Belle is probably like, whew, this guy's good looking. Thank God I don't have to be with the Beast for the rest of my life.
And then they throw like a real ball date with actual people there with them. And the Beast rocks the same fit he did for their original date.
Wouldn't it be stinky and large?
I mean, it's been
cleaned and pressed.
It's been taken in a little bit too, right?
Cleaned, pressed, and taken in.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. And that's
that concludes.
Pretty much brings the end of the movie.
And then the only thing we didn't say was when all the things come back to life.
Oh, right, yeah.
It's just really nice to see them come back to life, and they're like.
But the thing that bothers me about this too is the names that Mrs. Potts is a teapot. Was that her name before or after she became a teapot?
It was before.
So does the prince just have all his employees ironically he has a butler named Lumiere that gets turned into a candlestick.
He's a hipster. He has all of these people working for him, ironically.
Right.
Also, a question I had about all of these people when they come back to life, did they not age?
Right,
Because the Beast did. The Beast, they were waiting on his 21st birthday the whole time.
Yeah.
But when they all were put under a spell, Chip was a kid. Mrs. Potts, there's a puppy. The puppy would have died.
Yeah, it'd be an old
Or
dog.
at least it would be old. Yeah. The puppy would be at least 10 years old, depending on how old it was when they were all put under the spell.
Yeah.
Lumiere and Cogsworth would be old. Mrs. Potts would be an older woman.
Yeah.
It's just not accurate. Bimbette would not be as hot as she was. Come on.
I know.
It's not real. It's not real.
No, it's not real. So I think best song. What do you think the best song is?
I think Tale as Old as Time.
I think that's the best song too. That's the most memorable song from the movie as well. I think.
Is it the most memorable?
That's also a great track. Yeah.
That's really hard.
Song,
yeah. That's really hard.
I would call it even a coin flip between the two of those. But our other thing we like to talk about is what we need more and what we need less of. Mm-hmm. So I thought for what we need to see more of is more of Maurice's backstory, They call him a crazy inventor, but we only ever see him succeed.
Why do they think he's so... Like, what has he done that they think he's nuts?
Yeah, he just built this dope-ass machine that'll chop their wood for him. Like,
I
that's the
think
only
he
thing.
just tries to invent things and they think he's crazy because of that. But like I
Right.
said, I think the village is a little bit corrupt.
Right, and a little bit behind the times as well.
I mean, probably with the times when it came out.
Right, yeah.
But no, not even that. Just, yeah, you're right. We need to see more of why they think he's so crazy.
Yeah. And what we need to see less of, I think, is the Beast temper tantrums. Like, it's like anything that, like, he doesn't, like, agree with 100%, he just fucking loses it in the first 45 minutes of the movie. It's like a lot of screaming by the Beast. Yeah. It's like,
And it's
okay,
just kind of annoying.
calm down, buddy. Like, we get it. You're angry.
Yeah, it's really annoying at a certain part.
Yeah.
And one thing I want to kind of try and do now is a new thing I'm doing. Marry, fuck, kill. We've all heard of this game.
Yeah.
Marry, fuck, kill, Mrs. Potts, Wardrobe, or Bimbette.
I think it's obvious. Like, this one's kind of obvious. You marry Mrs. Potts, you kill the wardrobe, and you fuck Bimbette.
Yeah, because Bimbette's a little bit slutty.
The slutty one, right? Yeah.
And Mrs. Potts is the most marriage material, and Wardrobe's just kind of there.
Right? Yeah. The wardrobe doesn't really play that big of a role.
But what do you guys think?
Yeah.
Marry, fuck, kill. Or is there a better combination? Marry, fuck, kill.
I don't know. I think that's probably...
Yeah, that's the
only
best
ones.
one.
And then the last category that we like to hit on is our real MVPs. I think for my choice this week, I'm going to go with Lumiere. I think he's, like, kind of the obvious choice for it. Like, he plays a big role as the wingman. He's also one of the funnier characters in the movie. And he's, like, essential to the whole thing. Like, kind of plays wingman from both sides. Talking up to the Beast, kind of playing it cool with Belle. Doing both ways, yeah. Who do you got?
I think that Chip is the real MVP.
I think Chip certainly plays the most, one of the most crucial roles
Can
in the
I say
entire
why?
movie. Yeah. Yeah. Of course you can.
Because at the end of the movie, he sneaks into Belle's bed when she's leaving the night that the Beast realizes he's in love with her. He goes back to the house, and then they're like, oh, Chip, and he helps to tell Maurice that the Beast isn't that bad.
Yeah.
And then when Maurice and Belle are locked up in the cellar because they say that they're mad, he uses the axe chopping machine to free them, and that's how they get back to the castle.
Yeah, he cuts him loose, yeah.
And that if that didn't happen, I don't know what would have happened.
No, and, like, Beast would be dead.
Probably.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Big time, yeah.
Oh, yeah, he would be, because they wouldn't have
Yeah.
kissed or anything. Or
No.
I guess they didn't even kiss. She wouldn't have found out that she loved him, too.
Right, yeah.
So Chip, yes.
Yeah, no, I like that pick. He, like I said, I think he did, like, that's definitely one of the most instrumental things to saving the day. Like, that is saving the day in this movie. Like, that's the most save the day moment, I think. But yeah, so that kind of wraps up our Beauty and the Beast wrap up of the animated version from 1991. As always, Molly was drinking back those Cottage Springs, and I was hitting on the Lost Crafts. We want you guys to like and subscribe to
Please subscribe.
to all of our social media on Instagram at Drinking with Disney, Twitter at Drinking W Disney. Find us on iTunes, Spotify. Leave us a 5-star review or 5-star
you
rating
think we
and
deserve it.
review. That would be great. And as always, you can catch us not
see you
next
in
week.
2
We'll see you in
weeks.
2 weeks. We're going bi-weekly now just because we have a very busy summer because we are getting married. But we will see you in a couple weeks, and thank you for watching.